ॐ ॐ ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम् शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। जय गुरुदेव।
ओम श्री परमात्मने नमः। अथ द्वादशोऽध्यायः भक्तियोगः। अर्जुन उवाच एवं सततयुक्ता ये भक्तास्त्वां पर्युपासते ये चाप्यक्षरमव्यक्तं तेषां के योगवित्तमाः। श्रीभगवानुवाच मय्यावेश्य मनो ये मां नित्ययुक्ता उपासते श्रद्धया परयोपेतास्ते मे युक्ततमा मताः। ये त्वक्षरमनिर्देश्यम् अव्यक्तं पर्युपासते सर्वत्र गमचिन्त्यं च कूटस्थमचलं ध्रुवं सन्नियम्येन्द्रियग्रामं सर्वत्र समबुद्धयः ते प्राप्नुवन्ति मामेव सर्वभूतहिते रताः। क्लेशोऽधिकतरस्तेषाम् अव्यक्ता सक्तचेतसाम् अव्यक्ता हि गतिर्दुःखम् देहवद्भिरवाप्यते। ये तु सर्वाणि कर्माणि मयि सन्न्यस्य मत्पराः अनन्येनैव योगेन मां ध्यायन्त उपासते तेषामहं समुद्धर्ता मृत्युसंसारसागरात् भवामि न चिरात् पार्थ मय्यावेशितचेतसाम् मय्येव मन आधत्स्व मयि बुद्धिं निवेशय निवसिष्यसि मय्येव अत ऊर्ध्वं न संशयः। अथ चित्तं समाधातुं न शक्नोषि मयि स्थिरम् अभ्यासयोगेन ततो मामिच्छाप्तुं धनञ्जय अभ्यासेऽप्यसमर्थोऽसि मत्कर्म परमो भव मदर्थमपि कर्माणि कुर्वन् सिद्धिमवाप्स्यसि अथैतदप्यशक्तोऽसि कर्तुं मध्योगमाश्रितः सर्वकर्मफलत्यागं ततः कुरु यतात्मवान् श्रेयो हि क्षम्यताम् श्रेयो हि ज्ञानमभ्यासात् ज्ञानाध्यानं विशिष्यते ध्यानात् कर्मफलत्यागः त्यागाच्छान्तिरनन्तरम् अद्वेष्टा सर्वभूतानां मैत्रः करुण एव च निर्ममो निरहङ्कारः समदुःखसुखक्षमी सन्तुष्टः सततं योगी यतात्मा दृढनिश्चयः मय्यर्पितमनो बुद्धिः यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः यस्मान्नो द्विजते लोको लोकान्नो द्विजते च यः हर्षामर्षभयोद्वेगैः मुक्तः यः स च मे प्रियः अनपेक्ष शुचिर्दक्ष उदासीनो गतव्यथः सर्वारम्भपरित्यागी यो मद्भक्तः स मे प्रियः यो न हृष्यति न द्वेष्टि न शोचति न काङ्क्षति शुभाशुभपरित्यागी भक्तिमान्यः स मे प्रियः समः शत्रौ च मित्रे च तथा मानापमानयोः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु समः सङ्गविवर्जितः तुल्यनिन्दास्तुतिर्मौनी सन्तुष्टो येन केनचित् अनिकेतस्थिरमतिर्भक्तिमान् मे प्रियो नरः ये तु धर्म्यामृतमिदं यथोक्तं पर्युपासते श्रद्धाना मत्परमा भक्तास्तेतीव मे प्रियाः ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे भक्तियोगो नाम द्वादशोऽध्यायः अथ त्रयोदशोऽध्यायः क्षेत्रक्षेत्रज्ञविभागयोगः श्रीभगवानुवाच इदं शरीरं कौन्तेय क्षेत्रमित्यभिधीयते एतद्यो वेत्ति तं प्राहुः क्षेत्रज्ञ इति तद्विदः ॐ तत्सत् सर्वं श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु Just give me 2 minutes. So, as decided, we will do from the page 390. I will just chant the verse 15. Yasmano dvijate loko, lokanno dvijate chayaha, harsha marsha bhayo dvegaihi, muktah yasa cha me priyaha. I'll just read the
मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः
Astu, it is mukto, okay. हर्षामर्षभयोद्वेगैः मुक्तो यः स च मे प्रियः. The one because of whom people do not get disturbed, and who does not get disturbed by people, and who is free from elation, intolerance, fear, and anxiety. He is beloved to me. The Jnani is free from exaltation, intolerance, fear, and pain. Further, he says, Harsha, Amarsha, Bhaya, Udvegaihi, Muktah Yah. The one who is free from elation, intolerance, fear, and anxiety, Sa Chame Priyah. He is beloved to me. Harsha is the state of mind that ensues when you achieve something you had wanted very much. There is an exultation, which Shankara says, I hope exultation or exultation, my pronunciation, there is an exultation.
Yeah,
Kindly
it's okay.
correct me.
Exaltation is fine. No problem.
Okay. There is an exultation which Shankara says is indicated by horripilation and shedding tears. When you reach some, when you reach such an extreme of joyous emotion, its opposite is not going to be far away. Amarsha is an intolerance which is often rooted in jealousy. If someone is able to do something well or is happy, and your appreciation of that invokes pain in you, you are suffering from jealousy. Matsarya. Amarsha can also express as asuya, overlooking a person's virtues and finding fault. When someone has a good quality, why not enjoy it? Someone who has asuya will disregard the virtues and try to discover the person's faults. And everyone has faults. Matsarya and asuya are together called amarsha. When things do not go as you would like them to, and you find you cannot tolerate yourself or the world that you feel has deceived you, that is amarsha. I repeat the last two lines. Please pay attention. Very important. Matsarya and asuya are together called amarsha. When things do not go as you would like them to, and you find you cannot tolerate yourself or the world that you feel has deceived you, that is amarsha. The Jnani, however, recognizes any accomplishment as his own glory. With his knowledge, he can say, along with Krishna, I was Manu, I am Indra. There is nothing separate from me, and therefore anyone's glory is my own glory. Ishvara, to whom all glories belong, is non-separate from Brahman, which is non-separate from Atma. Therefore, any vibhuti anywhere is your own. Since Ishvara's glory is infinite, with this knowledge, you can keep on discovering his glories, which are non-separate from yourself. And this is why there is no amarsha, jealousy, or intolerance. He is also free from fear, bhaya. At the level of the jiva, who is a yogi, he thinks in the order, which is Ishvara, and therefore conducts his life free from fear. The more you are aware of Ishvara's role in your life, the more you find you are able to relax. You can let go of all that happened in the past and of all that may happen in the future, and just do what is to be done without concern for what others think. This is a unique attitude which comes of prayer. The more you recognize Ishvara, the less you fear, the less fear you have. I repeat, the more you recognize Ishvara, the less fear you have relatively. Absolute freedom from fear is only possible with the knowledge that there is no second thing, because fear is only generated by a second reality equivalent to myself. Even if I am Param Brahma, if there is another Param Brahma, there will be fear, because then there is the possibility of isolation, division, and separation. Fear of being overpowered, cheated, and so on exists only when there is a second thing. Even God becomes a source of fear as a punisher. The very one who is a source of fearlessness, Abhaya, becomes the cause for fear if you see him as a second thing. If you see him as yourself, there is no source of fear, because there is no other source. In Taittiriya Upanishad, it is said that the wind blows, the sun rises, Agni and Indra, and even Lord Death do their jobs because of fear. Bhisha asmadvat vatah pavate, Bhisha udeti suryah, Bhisha asmad agnihi cha Indrah cha mrityuh dhavati panchamaiti. Kindly correct me if my pronunciation was wrong.
Bella, can you just read the last two sentences? Before
Okay.
this,
In the same paragraph or in the previous paragraph?
the same paragraph.
Okay. The more you recognize Ishvara, the less fear you have relatively. Absolute freedom from fear is only possible with the knowledge that there is no second thing, because fear is only generated by a second reality equivalent to myself. There is a breaking of voice. Please do let me know if it is disturbing. Even if I am Param Brahma, if there is another Param Brahma, there will be fear, because then there is a possibility of isolation, division, and separation. Fear of being overpowered, cheated, and so on exists only when there is a second thing. Even becomes a source of fear as a punisher. The very one who is a source of fearlessness, Abhaya, becomes the cause for fear if you see him as a second thing. If you see him as yourself, there is no source of fear, because there is no other source. In Taittiriya Upanishad, it is said that the wind blows, the sun rises, Agni and Indra, and even Lord Death do their jobs because of fear. Bhisha asmadvatah pavate, Bhisha
Sorry. भीषास्माद्वातः पवते भीषोदेति सूर्यः भीषास्मादग्निश्चेन्द्रश्च मृत्युर्धावति पञ्चम इति.
Wow.
भीषास्माद् वातः पवते.
There is Sandhi there, no?
Yeah.
Okay.
भीषोदेति सूर्यः.
Bhishodeti Suryah.
भीषास्माद् अग्निश्चेन्द्रश्च मृत्युर्धावति पञ्चम इति.
Okay. Any Anyone would like to explain? It's so beautiful. When you yourself feel that you are that order, so you will not have that fear. This is my little understanding. You will not have, you will become abhaya.
When you
And
act according to the in conformity with dharma, then
hmm,
I think that aspect it grounds you, and you don't have that fear or that feverishness. No, when we do the right things, there is so
hmm,
less fear in us. So
correct.
this is what this line meant. No, you can let
Hmm,
go of all that happened in the past and all that may happen in the future, and just do what is to be done without concern for what others think. So it is
hmm,
other people attitude doesn't matter. It is if you are doing what is to be done at that time, at that particular situation, then you have no element of fear. This
hmm.
is
Very
this
profound.
is the main, like,
Hmm.
yeah, yeah.
And for Matsarya and this one, intolerance, also it reminds me of our Persiji's examples that everyone in our life, they come to teach us some lesson. So there is nothing to be jealous about or to feel that uh, it is too much, that he or she is crossing the limit, intolerance. So if that bhava is there, then I don't think that you will have any asuyatva. You can become anasuya like Arjuna, who did not see any flaw in anybody.
Matsarya is the jealousy, है ना? It's the jealousy,
Yeah,
and amartya
correct.
is that you are finding fault and not regarding the person's virtue he
Yeah,
has.
Matsarya and Asuya together are called Amarsha.
Okay, together.
Matsarya and Asuya
Asuya.
together called Amarsha.
Okay.
This is very profound line. When things do not go as you would like them to, and you find you cannot tolerate yourself or the world that you feel has deceived you, that is Amarsha.
I think this we'll have to underline, no? Because we get caught up in this so often.
Yes, very true. I am experiencing that for the past. Like Percy ji has very beautifully given us such a profound knowledge with examples, no? That everybody's role in our life is to give some lesson. If that understanding is there, then there will be no complaint. There will be no amarsha.
Also, it is said, no, the person who gives you a pain, he is the most important person in your life, because of him that you are on this path. No, there is always a
Hmm.
triggering factor in your life. It is like 90% people come on this path out of pain. Only I think 5-10% come out of love for the Ishvara, that bhakti they have from childhood. It is very less. Few people only evolve that way. Otherwise, maximum people come on this path uh, by some painful event in their life. When there is that helplessness element is there, and they feel so dejected, and they don't know where to seek that peace. And yeah,
There are
for
types
me it
of
happened.
bhakta, no?
Yeah, for me it happened that way
Arthati,
only. It was a painful
arth.
event and I turned. Yeah.
Yeah, 90% is. Little bit much, Dr. Savita.
Yeah,
50-50
it
is
happened.
okay.
And it is, I think it is a blessing now, what after so many years, no? I feel it was
Hmm.
a blessing. If it had not happened that way, I would not have been on this path. So I feel blessed now with that painful event. It was a blessing for me that it turned my uh, goal from literally 180-degree, almost reverse. You went reverse. So it
Hmm.
is it is right. Whatever is happening is for a cause.
Hmm. It is
Yeah.
always for good. That's
Yeah.
what Swami Swarupananji had told me when he visited my home. Whatever event happens in your life, accept it as a prashada and it is always good. He said that mark my this word with underline. It is always good.
But
And people who are
really can
giving
we
you
forget?
pain,
Yeah.
people who are giving you pain, actually they are taking out your karmas, and at their cost, they are troubling you if they are doing it purposely, because they will be in trouble. So at that cost, they are troubling you. So we have to be grateful for them also. And I think here, if you don't want to feel jealous or matsarya, it is the Advaita Bhavana. If it dawns, then you will not feel that, because there is no other. When we feel the fear, when there is other thing, even there is other Brahman, then also we will be feeling that fear. So it is just me alone. I won't feel that jealousy or towards myself, right? So if that bhavana dawns, I think Amarsha won't be there. This is what the last few lines said, right?
Correct, correct. Very true. Very beautiful.
Jai Gurudev, I have a doubt here. Um, you read that Anusuya and Matsarya together is Amarshya.
Asuya,
And
Asuya and Anasuya. I'm sorry to interrupt. Sumaji, Asuya and Anasuya, they are like opposite.
okay, that's the thing.
Asuya.
Yeah, Asuya. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, please go ahead. You were to say something, Shamyata.
Yeah, I just had this doubt because Anusuya is one who doesn't find any fault. So
Correct.
Anusuya and Matsarya won't go together. Asuya and Matsarya will go together. So I had that doubt.
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That is why Arjun is called Anasuya, because he did not see fault. I think
Yeah.
Nanaji had told that story, no, about Arjuna and Yudhishthira. No, Yudhishthira and Duryodhana, Kshamyata. Like Lord Krishna had told both of them, like Duryodhan was always complaining that there is no good person in our kingdom. Everybody is a cheater and this and that. Very bad people are here in my kingdom. And so Lord Krishna told him, you find one good person from your kingdom. And he comes back and he doesn't find anybody. And he asked the same question that to Yudhishthir, you find one bad person in your kingdom. And Yudhishthir did not find anybody bad in his kingdom. He came back by saying that everybody is good. So that is what the way you perceive the people. So that is why he was Anasuya. And this is Asuya. And how important it is to appreciate somebody's good quality. So many times in our own home, we forget to appreciate people around us, no? Our own people. So how important it is to appreciate. That also I learned today. When someone has a good quality, why not enjoy it? All the anyone want to share, or I can read further? All the
Just wanted
phenomenal.
to share, sorry.
Yeah, please go ahead.
With respect to this Asuya and this not having Matsarya and becoming Anasuya, I think what Gurudev has been saying is you look at people without a face. The mind does not have a face. When you look at that, then maybe we will not be ascribing intentions and seeing faults. Because then there is only one. There is no face to anybody. So when we come from that space, there is an opportunity for us to drop this Asuya and the Matsarya. And we'll be able to accommodate whatever is happening actively, of course. Acceptance totally. And then we take whatever action. But that facelessness of people is a beautiful tool. Because the moment you think of someone that you do not like, then it will trigger all those chemical reactions within you. But when there's no face at all, then there is no aspect of anything that will trigger anything negative within you. Like earlier it was said, when you have harsha, you will also have the opposite amarsha. Something that is very, um, very beautiful, as in a very an experience that takes you to a height in a positive manner. If you're going through that, then the opposite is also possible. So when there is no face to the people around you that you have, then either way is not possible. And there's an opportunity for you to remain in the plateau. Yeah, you can go on, Bela.
So beautiful, very nice. All the phenomenal forces behave as they do because of some mandate. The idea is individuals do things out of fear. Fear of being punished, fear of being ridiculed or rejected, fear of losing, and finally, fear of other. Elsewhere it is said, the one who sees a seeming multiplicity goes from death to death. Mrityo mrityum apnoti ya iha nana iva pashyati. But for the one who sees the truth, any way he looks at it, there is only one thing. I repeat, very beautiful line. But for the one who sees the truth, any way he looks at it, there is only one thing. From the standpoint of the self, there is no second thing, because everything has its being in the self. And if he looks at it as a whole, the whole cannot be many, because infinity can have no parts. Thus, fear does not exist for the one who has this non-dual vision. Yeah, so Mrinalji very beautifully explained this paragraph. Pain, udvega, of course, is not possible because Atma is Asanga. And further, being Ananda, pain is not possible. I repeat this line. Pain, udvega, of course, is not possible because Atma is Asanga. And further, being Ananda, pain is not possible. the one who is free from all this. Harsha, Amarsha, Bhaya, Udvegaihi, Muktaha is Priyaha, beloved to me, meaning identical with me. Anyone would like to share? This is again another profound thing. Atma is Asanga.
Pain and bhaya both come only when there is the other. No? So when that is not there, there is no pain, there is no bhaya.
Pain is just a sensation. Yes.
These sentences, these shlokas are extremely important for sadhakas like us. This will help us to take a really big, long jump, actually.
Yeah, every time when we read, we get such a beautiful perspective every time.
Yes.
So for our roadmap, we have to be Anasuya. We Harsha, Marsha, Bhaya, Udvegaihi, Muktaha. We just have to remember. We have to be, then only we can be beloved to Ishvara. It is not becoming,
As
it is
karma
being.
yogis, yeah, that is true. As karma yogis, we just continue to do what is to be done without fear or without thinking of what others will think. That removing ourselves, relieving ourselves from being a football of others' opinion, that is one. And not seeing intention, that amarsha, where you are in that state of anasuya, not asuya. And this asuya could be also yourself, not just others. You're not accepting yourself or others. Both come in there.
Feeling of inferiority or feeling of superiority. Both are obstacles.
And just do what you have to do. That is such a magical, that's such a line that needs to be underlined and, put in bold letters for us. And how do we know what we have to do? When we align ourselves with. That is a skill, that's grace again. Getting to know the right thing to do at the right time is also great. Isn't it?
Very
so
true.
the sadhana and everything that we do will help us align ourselves with dharma, with that, so that we do what is to be done. And that should be our prayer. Our prayer should be for us to stay committed on this path and to be given that the skill and that the yukti, to stay on and get the right thought at the right time, do the right thing at the right time. We might get the right thought, but at a wrong time, then it's not useful.
I just want to share here regarding the skill sets. Like when we tour with the Apex members in areas all over Maharashtra, then it's like what kind of progress is there? There is no progress. Some are doing well, some are not doing well. So we focus on areas which are not doing well as to how they will do well. So invariably we come across two different groups where the volunteers and teachers are uh, opposites, like or on opposite sides, like, and they have some grievances against each other. So at that time, we don't take sides. We don't say what is right or wrong. So, the focus shifts on how best we can improve the situation there. More number of people coming into courses, more number of courses happening. That is the objective and goal. It is not who's right or wrong. So, completely we shift the focus from their incidents that would have happened, drop all that, and how can we help you to progress? So sometimes, what we do is we get caught up. Oh, this is right, this is wrong. And then we tend to take sides. We don't just take sides. Can we just give up what has happened in the past? Can we move forward? Or how can we help you to move forward, to progress? What can be done? And sometimes, after all that they have to say, they have said it, then the chests are lightened. And then some of them only come out with suggestions. Okay, let us all drop this. Can we do something, a mega event, a mega course, something like that? So sometimes when you are fine tuned to, you are not going to take sides, you are not going to see who's right or wrong. You are there for a higher purpose, a bigger goal. Then that is the skill set that you should have. And that is why I say, kid, don't see right or wrong, just forget it. Like what's right, what's wrong, how does it matter? Just help that person to move forward. Anybody. There, good there.
That's such a beautiful takeaway. Without having, without getting caught up in the past or worry for the future, which is what Swamiji also mentions. When you're more and more in the present, you'll be able to be spontaneous and do what is to be done.
And I tell you that we have had very, very good results when we have worked like this. I tell you that it's really, really wonderful. We just have to drop this right and wrong business and not see anybody as correct or incorrect. Just move on. And that little guidance that you give to the people, and it's such a beautiful thing when you see mega courses happening and all that. So I'm just saying that, was just shift your focus. I don't know. Like we need to drop this right wrong business. How can we be useful in that situation? Now, also, if there is a war going on between Israel and Palestine or whatever, I don't want to take sides. If I can be helpful to the Palestinians or Israelis, if I have to send food, whatever, if we are told to manage that, I will do my bit from here, mobilize resources and send. So that kind of, that is better than thinking and worrying or talking about it. Also, why gossip over it? Who's right? Who's wrong? Ultimately you'll find that there is somebody else only who's really the main culprit. There, good there.
Such a profound study, very nice. Even at personal level also the same rules can apply, whether we look at the situation or whatever happens in the past or is happening. We can just move forward with a positive outlook. Instead of dissecting the problem, if we come out with solutions, then it will be a kind of optimistic, or as per management principle, they say it is being optimistic and moving forward.
Yeah, it is very important to see things as is, and accepting it is so important. For that matter, yourself also. When you know yourself, it's instead of seeing what others are, it's so important to see what you are, and then you will not mm, expect anyone to praise you, or even if someone is not liking you, doesn't matter to you anymore, because you know exactly what you are, then that really doesn't matter.
Very true, very beautiful. It is exactly what Brahmaraji said, no? We should not be the football of others' opinion. We know who we are. But at the same time, not to take too much liberty where we become completely apathetic and we do not take care of others' feelings. There is a very delicate line.
Yeah, I was just reading the some other time, like I mean, I meant the opinion about you, what others would have, and then we might get, caught up in that, like somebody doesn't like you or that kind of a thing I was saying. Uh, I don't remember exactly what the words were, but it meant something like that. Though you might be a beautiful rose flower, uh, there could be some people might like you, and they like you and they might appreciate you, but there could be some people who might be allergic. So
Mhm.
uh, it's not your fault that you are rose, and it's not you that you made yourself rose. You are what you are. So some people might like you, some people may not, cannot handle you. You can take yourself like that.
So beautiful, yeah.
Sometimes you have to see that people who love you, they only hit out at you. And because it's easier to do that and they can get away with it.
That is also fact.
Yeah, and they hit out at you, but they don't mean it.
Mm.
Sometimes there is such a lot of pain inside, so it is just reflected by whatever they say.
So that's why Gurudev says, no, do not, when your beloved, when he lies to you, you see that because he loves you, he lied to you. He
And
doesn't want
we
to.
should we should be grateful for our critics because they help us grow, not people who are always saying goody goody things about us. That is only going to inflate the ego. Whereas people who we think are, criticizing us or putting us down, finding faults with us, actually they are the ones that we should be grateful for,
But
because they're
when you
giving us an
see,
opportunity. They're
yeah,
giving us an opportunity, number one, to remain centered, to accommodate them, to accept them. Number two is for us also, they act like a mirror to us. We don't know our faults sometimes. But when we look at when others when others act as a mirror and they tell us this is what it is. I mean, you are wrong here and there. This is where you have to change. Then that becomes it is like a revelation for us. Sometimes we may be oblivious to our own behavior.
But
that's true.
sometimes they would also, the other side is also there, that they would be in so much of pain that they hit out at you. And you may not even be wrong. I'll just narrate one incident. Many years back, when I was staying in South Bombay, my wife was hospitalized with sciatica and all that, and I don't know, some disc collapse or something. And when she was hospitalized, I was 24 hours by her side and I was serving like everything that she needed and did. Like day and night, I stayed there. I didn't go home. But for that half an hour when I would do my sadhana, and whenever time permitting, I would just do my sadhana. And like in the middle of the night, she would ask for a pot or something, and I would give it to her. Like everything done, like I was looking after her. She is a very private person. She didn't like the matrons giving her pot and all that. So I would do everything for her. And yet, like she had gone for a non-veg diet, diabetic diet in the hospital. But I am a vegetarian. So there are some volunteers of mine who stayed nearby who would bring food for me. And she would complain, he's only bothered about his sadhana full time. And that is the way she was hitting out at me. But my sadhana was only half an hour out of those 24 hours that I was there by her side day and night. And I don't know, and I just took it as, oh, she's in so much of pain, so she's saying this. And that's okay. Like, we don't get hurt. We just understand that she is in pain, and because of that, she is hitting out against somebody who's by her side 24 hours. Then it becomes so irrelevant, that statement. Why do we have to take it at heart or internalize it? Like, we just can brush it off.
Can I share a story what yesterday Gurudev played in the satsang?
Yeah. This is a very common thing, Percy Bhaiya. In every house, when one starts on this path, especially with the art of living, all people they find the faults with that half an hour which we take out for ourselves. Rest of the day, 23 and half hours, whatever we are doing, it becomes very irrelevant for all our family members. हाफ एन आवर में उनका पूरा फ्यूज उड़ जाता है, पता नहीं क्या क्या. And this is a very common thing which you have shared. It's very weird, but all of us, we have to go through it. Yeah, Sarla ji, please go ahead.
Yeah, yesterday Gurudev said one saint or somebody was walking, and he was walking in jungle or somewhere, and one side he saw the snake, and other side he saw the honeycomb, and there was a river in front. So he could not go anywhere. So he has to पेड़ पे चढ़ना पड़ा क्योंकि कुछ था ही नहीं और उसको he was very thirsty. So somehow from that honeycomb dropped the honey in his mouth. So with that 3-4 honey drops, his thirst was quenched. So Gurudev says the moral form is this story is world is like that. You cannot means world will give only that much happiness that have dropped in your mouth. Otherwise, the world is like snake and the river other side where he cannot swim. So it's like that. World will not always give you a happiness. Every time you will be disturbed by somebody's deeds or someone's words or something. Thank you.
There is a proverb, no, that if the audience is throwing lemons on you, you should have the skill to make lemonade out of it.
Yes.
Ramaraji, when you were saying the criticism and all, we have to take it in the positive. That happens very smoothly when you know exactly where you are. Not that we don't accept our faults also, or maybe the bad qualities or whatever qualities we might be having. If we are totally aware of these things, that Viveka dawns on us, that we know exactly what we are, that's where the life becomes smoother, I feel. Because then, even if someone tells you your faults, you are not, out of, it doesn't come out of blue to you. You know exactly, and then you accept it, and you might try to improve on it. Same as your qualities. Once you know this is your quality, you will not look for any praise from anybody. This is what I meant. So that Viveka has to be there exactly what you are. If you know that, then not nobody can disturb your mind. This is what I meant. Then you will take the praise and the criticism in the right spirit.
Very beautiful, Shani. Very nice.
But
Criticism also becomes improvement.
all our virtues, all our so-called weaknesses, they all are only in the realm of the mind, intellect, ego. We offer them because we are also a victim to our own vasanas, our own past impressions. So we are also work in progress. We are not like complete, perfected people. So no doubt we will have some of our own weaknesses, but we offer them all. That is that meaning of that Maya Arpita Mano Buddhi. He has that Dhrida Nischaya that he is beyond the mind and intellect. He has that ascertained knowledge that he is nothing but Atma. So when that is the case, you don't get caught up in the mind gains. No? All this that we were discussing, the weaknesses, the virtues, good qualities, not so good qualities, criticisms that people give us, all this is in the realm of the mind and intellect and probably ego. But when we realize that, or even have that knowledge that even if it is a paroksha anubhuti, it is not an aparoksha still, like the jnani, at least that the knowledge that we are above all of this, which is what Gurudev keeps saying. He says, you are bigger than your mind, you're bigger than that. So even that coming from the space of no face to anybody, you're moving beyond the mind, you're moving beyond that part. So that will help us stay grounded in this, have that ascertained knowledge. So you're moving beyond the mind and buddhi and you're surrendering it to him. Mai arpita mano buddhi. Otherwise, we'll keep getting caught up in our mind and we'll continue to have weave stories in our mind about what people are thinking, what I'm also thinking about myself. We will have to slowly kind of remove ourselves, just like how carefully you remove a thin cloth which is caught up in thorns. That very carefully you remove that little by little, layer by layer, and then free ourselves from the clutches of the mind.
So beautiful, very, very nice. May I request somebody to help me in reading? I can continue sharing the screen if someone can help me reading.
Yeah, I can read. One
Anybody
thing,
is there? Sumaji or Mrinalji or Dr. Savita or whoever
yeah,
can.
yeah, I can read if nobody is willing to, or if anyone else wants, then please go ahead. One
Dhanyavad,
thing
Dr.
I
Savita.
want to like we read in verse number 13, no, that you adveshta sarvbhutanam maitri karuna evacha nirmamo nirankara samadukha sukha shami. That we were reading that how you want the person, you want change to, you want to have that change in that person also, no? So that is also a source of dukkha, for that misery. You focusing on others, you want them to change. So it is all that what you have to do is to be done without bothering how others are responding or what others are thinking. So we don't have to be caught up in other people's reaction also. When you start analyzing the other aspect, it makes all the more messy. With these shlokas, they highlight one thing, and then we get up like we are aware of that, and another thing in different other shlokas there is some other aspect. So they are so interlinked. Whenever we revisit that shloka, you get to have another a type of understanding, and it all it is so connected. That is why, like, I'm figuring out why Nanaji said you have to read it infinite times, I think. It's so deep that to imbibe so many values, you have to revisit all these knowledge points. So very intrinsic network is there. Shall I read further? Verse number 16.
Jai Gurudev, just one thing. Gurudev most of the time mentions ki Bal Bhav mein aa jao. So that Balavat, that innocence when we come into, I think all these virtues become much more easy for us to inculcate. And all the negativities, whatever we are discussing, it becomes easy to drop when we come into that innocence of a child. Jai Gurudev. Then it will not, we will not find it too difficult. Otherwise, it's a, it seems to be Herculean task. Jai Gurudev.
Yesterday, one of my friend was asking that she's like the head of the department in SPM. So she was asking that I try do everything, whatever is possible in the department, but some people are there, especially one she was mentioning that why she hates me like anything. She says that I don't want to see her face. This type of things happening. So I was just I said you be in that knowledge, otherwise these things will keep coming up. Only way is to update yourself with that, this knowledge of Shastra, that you will come out of all these things. They are very petty things. So it is the knowledge that helps you in every aspect of life, whether be it professional or family, emotional, like anything. I think it is this, by the help of this knowledge, like many things have been the way we are taking now, and as we were taking few years back, there's a lot of difference in our attitude. At least I've noticed very much change in how I was initially dealing and now how I am dealing with things and persons, situations, everything. It is because of this knowledge only. So it is important that we be on this path till our last breath. Yeah. Shall I carry on? Verse number 16. Anapeksha shuchirdaksha udasino gatavyataha sarvarambha parityagi yo madbhakta same priyaha. Anapeksha, the one who has no dependence. Shuchi, the one who is clean. Daksha, the one who is able. Udasin, the one who is neutral. Gatavyataha, the one from whom fear has gone. Sarvarambha parityagi, the one who has completely given up all initiation of actions. Ya mad bhakta, the one who is my devotee. Same priyaha, he is beloved to me. Anapeksha shuchi daksha udasina gatavyataha sarvarambha parityagi yaha mad bhakta same priyaha. The one who has no dependence, is clean, is able and neutral, from whom fear has gone, who has completely given up all initiation of actions, and who is my devotee, is beloved to me. He is not dependent on anything. Anapeksha, Shankara says, is someone who does not depend upon relationship between the physical body, sense organs, and sense object for his sense of well-being. He, he knows he is self-existent, not dependent upon any other factor, and does not suffer from the delusion that he is only alive if the body is alive. The prana which keeps the body alive is dependent upon him, and moreover, Atma does not breathe. Since only something that breathes will die, he is always alive. Atma is pure existence, Satyavastu, and therefore does not depend upon prana, manas, buddhi, or anything else for its existence. Further, all things depend upon Atma for their coming to light, but Atma is self-evident, not depending upon anything for the establishment of its existence. In order to be full and free from any sense of imperfection, Atma depends upon nothing because it is the content of any experienced happiness. Therefore, one who knows this is anapeksha, free from dependence in every way. Concerns about externals such as where will I live do not exist for the one who knows himself, because he knows that everything is located in Atma, which is the Adhisthana, the basis of the entire Jagat. This is not merely verbal. He sees that it happens to be the nature of Atma and thus has no dependence at all upon situations. Anybody wants to say something? Or
that thing that Atma does not breathe, and only those that anything that breathes will die. And even the existence of prana is because of the Atma. That was very, very profound. And he remains in that state of Atma. So therefore, he's not even dependent on his prana, his body. He's that total anapeksha. Only anything that breathes will die. So he's automatically getting himself out of that clutches of the birth-death cycle, which is the greatest fear, no? The greatest fear anyone has is of death. So that is also removed.
Very easy to say, but actually, if such situation arises, it's extremely difficult when you suffocate, no? How the body and mind, especially mind, body ko to pata nahi chalta, struggles to really gasping the breath. Because I have gone through this last month, so I can say it's in the level of maturity or the level of the sannyasi or the who has experienced the ultimate is uh, it's unimaginable actually, because how really you can be a witness to your not getting the prana also, or gasping for the breath, is very easy to read the line, but experiential level it is I think it's a lifetimes of practice, as Savitaji said. But let's help each other and move on. This prana thing also is we are witness to the prana is easy to read the sentence, the three, two lines or three words. But how much
Actually,
we tend
to be in at Atma level, it would take many lifetimes. It is not that
yes,
very easy to be in that Atma Bhav. It will take. It is not that coverings you are having of coverings of all this body mind sense complex. They have formed a cocoon type around you, and it is those layers that you have to every time peel off, and it will take so many lifetimes to regain that Atma Bhava. So it is that
yes,
all that patience is required, nothing
Sorry,
else.
Gurudev says, sorry. Gurudev says, don't think lifetimes. It can be any time. So, once he said, given an example, the somebody was walking and he just fell down or something hit on his head, and he became enlightened.
But this won't happen with us, This is Kali Yuga. It is we have accumulated so many things from our past lifetimes. It will take some time. It will take a lot of time rather.
But it is like achire nadhi gachati. So Gurudev says, keep your house clean. You never know when the divine will come. So
Yeah, that
we should
sankalpa
not.
at least you should have.
Yeah,
You
we
should
should
not
have
say
that.
lifetimes, no lifetimes.
Correct. I think even that it might take time, it may not take time. We go with just the faith that we do what we have to do. Even if we, considering that it's going to take lifetimes, then there may be some subconscious laxity that may come up. So we should be that Uttama Adhikari. Again, I'm not saying should not. It all depends on everybody's mindset. But the Uttama Adhikari does what? Tattva Chintana. Nana was mentioning in the Upanishads, one of those verses, beautiful verses, where the highest, those that do Tattva Chintana are the best. One rung below them are those that do Shastra Chintana. And then lower than that is Mantra Chintana. And then beyond, even lower than that is those that do Tirtha Yatras. So it's not saying right or wrong again. It is about what is most important in life. Are we holding on to that? And we have that complete faith that when it has to come, it will happen. We'll not worry whether it's going to happen in this lifetime or it's going to take several lifetimes. Doesn't matter. We just do with that innocence of a child. We continue doing what we have to do.
Yeah, and when it happens, I
Cleaning.
think it just takes off your all the kinds of karma.
Yeah, it will. It's just like how we wake up from a dream. You don't ascribe any karma to what all that you dream in the dream. In the dream, you may have hurt someone, you may even have killed someone, but that karma doesn't attach to you. So similarly, I think once we are recognized, then all that we have had, so-called karma, all that prarabdha, sanchita. Prarabdha, of course, maybe we have to go through, but the sanchita karma, all of that will just get evaporated like a burnt seed.
Hari Om Brahmaraji, my just a little, I wanted to ask, if it happens in this lifetime, then can we say that is the Swara Kripa? Swara means the prana, as it is mentioned. I was just trying to read the Swara. So there it is saying about the pranayam. So if it happens in this lifetime, then we can say it is a Swara Kripa, the way we have Atma Kripa, Shastra
Yeah,
Kripa.
I think that was not so much a Swara Kripa. I think that was no doubt.
Ishvara Kripa only.
Yeah, that was Ishvara Kripa, but no doubt doing pranayam and all of those, the sadhana will of course help you evolve. No doubt. And we're seeing that, no? How we were before, how I was before I joined the Art of Living to how I am right now. There's a huge change, if not for the practices. It is only because of the practices and the grace of the master that we are where we are right now. So that you can consider it Swarakripa, no doubt. But in that paragraph, I think there was a little typo, or that apostrophe was there. So that should be read as Ishvara Kripa, of those 4 Kripas. But Swarakripa, of course, I mean, if you want to label that as Swarakripa, of course, why not?
At least because of the pranayama, clarity of the mind will open up. No?
Yeah,
Clarity will
your energy is at a higher level. So doubts will drop, your faith becomes stronger. And when you're in that high prana zone, it is only sattva which reigns. So slowly all the rajas, tamas and all will settle down. And you're in that state of sattva. So there's clarity, there is focus. All the human values start manifesting. So you're closer to evolution, to evolving higher and higher.
But one question I have, like, if like we are all family persons, we all have families around us. So don't we have, till we have those karmic connections with them? And doesn't like it reading all these, it seems that uh, to gain that state, you have to be become a sannyasi, or you have to be born or convert in any when we don't know, but doesn't it seem that to disconnect from the world, you have to become a sannyasi in in some time, like maybe
Not required. Not required.
not.
China had mentioned once there was a tea stall, a person having a tea stall, simple tea stall. That
Okay.
person became enlightened. He had his family. So your prerequisites to get enlightenment does not mean you have to become a sannyasi. There are different ashramas, yes, but even a grahastha can become a enlightened person. Like King Janaka, for example, he was a
Yeah,
kshatriya. He was an
yeah.
enlightened person. What about Kalidasa? What about Valmiki? They were all family people. They are so your which ashrama you're in life does not determine. Is not the prerequisite. It is the intensity
actually
of your practice.
Lahari
chanting.
Ramrishi was also one of them, no? Lahari
Yeah,
Ramrishi.
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Gurudev always say, excuse me, Gurudev always say sannyasi has a more responsibility because whole world is his now. So he's not disconnected from the world. He is more in the world but unattached.
I want to ask one thing. These types of kripas, where I will find it in today's discussion. I missed it, or
I think as we
no? It
read
won't.
further, it will come.
In the end
Those
of this
types of.
chapter, there is in the end of this chapter, 12th chapter.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So I think the last, it was the last verse, if I remember so.
Yeah, basically the 4 kripas are Ishvara Kripa, grace of Ishvara. Then Guru Kripa is the grace of the master, your teacher. Then Shastra Kripa, the grace from the scriptures, that you're well rooted in the Shastra. And then you have Atma Kripa, that you have the grace that comes from within you, your commitment, your determination, your Shraddha, all that is Atma Kripa. So we need to have all these. There are 4 different aspects of Kripa.
Thank you so much. So beautiful it is actually.
It is, I was just looking at, it was the verse number 20, the starting paragraph. It is, all the kripas are mentioned. In this chapter only, verse number 20. there is all these kripa mentioned. They are most beloved to me in that heading.
How we can differentiate the Ish Krupa and Guru Krupa?
Ish is Ishvara kripa, no? Ish is
Ishwara Krupa
Ishvara
and
kripa.
Guru Krupa, how they are different? Like when Ishwara comes in front of you in the form of, in the human form, we call it Guru, or how it goes?
If you're seeing that distinction between the Guru and Ishvara, then you will see that differentiation between you and Guru. If you take it
It
in a
is like
stepwise.
that if the grace of Ishvara is there, then only you will get that Guru, that Guru Kripa would be there. So it is initially you will have to have Ishvara's Kripa so that you receive the grace of Guru Kripa. I understand it in this way. Unless his grace is not there, you cannot have a Guru also.
Correct. And this Shastra Krupa, and especially the group which we have come together from all over the world, actually. This is 100% I from within my heart. I feel this is Guru Krupa only. Otherwise, we wouldn't have sat together with Nanaji and Shastra Krupa. He only has pushed us to come together like this and get the knowledge through Nanaji. Because I don't see any of efforts from my side in this. It has come like a boon.
This is the past Sanchita Karma, I think, or Prarabdha we have to face, but all this, I think this is a Sanchita Karma. And of course, this lifetime efforts also, what we are making. Because to walk on this paths, you have to make efforts. Even though you have Kripa, but still you have to make efforts also. This chapter, this 12th chapter is so like it is, I feel like going thrice also. It's so feeling so nice reading and contemplating on it. Every time yesterday I went in the reading the past was again different aspects keeps opening and you start contemplating. It is very beautiful. Shall I read a small paragraph? He is a Suchi. It's only this much, I think, and it's time also.
Yeah, please go ahead. And after that, we'll wind up. Yeah.
Yeah. He is a Suchi. Suchi, the one who is endowed with Suchi, the one who is endowed with Soch, cleanliness, both outer and inner. Outer cleanliness, Bahaya Soch, begins with your physical body and extends to your clothes, the place where you live, and the environment in general. Inner cleanliness, Antara Soch, is accomplished by various means. One of them is Pratipaksha Bhavana, deliberately bringing in a disposition that is the opposite of a negative one. So it is Pratipaksha Bhavana is deliberately bringing in a disposition that is the opposite of a negative one. By deliberately cultivating a positive disposition towards a given person, your hatred, anger, jealousy, and so on are neutralized. They do not exist in the natural expression of a wise man who is absolutely harmless. This is again one which we have to cultivate more and more.
I was just thinking, of course, I can apply this to myself, and I have been your colleague who's the head of the SPM department you were mentioning. If she can cultivate this pratipaksha bhavana towards that colleague who she thinks is hateful towards her, then her mental inner search happens, inner shaucha happens. Then no matter what she is, how that other colleague is, she will continue to remain in a state of calm. Otherwise, the moment she goes to work, there is this thorn that keeps pricking her. And usually it is people who we dislike, or who we think have a dislike towards us. They occupy our mind space most often. So the way to relieve herself, the way to relieve ourselves, I mean, let's apply it to us also. I have people around my at workplace that I have to apply this pratipaksha bhavana. Sometimes they may not even have it. Maybe my mindset, which is making me perceive that, oh, I think that person dislikes me. Maybe that person does not even have that dislike. So when we have this pratipaksha bhavana, it helps relieve us of this the negative thinking that goes on in our mind. And who knows, that person will also change with this attitude.
Yes, when you give the positive vibes to that person, that will surely affect him or her. Yes, and I think every person, each one of us must be having some person in his or her life towards whom you would have some negative feelings. Like for me, I have deliberately, literally cultivated what is written. By deliberately cultivating a positive disposition towards a given person, your hatred, anger, jealousy, they are all neutralized. So it like I did it practical, though we were in knowledge this lately, but I was practicing that because when you hate somebody, you are drawing more of the karmic connection towards yourself. So why you don't want, if you are hating some person in this lifetime, would you like to be involved with that person in the next lifetime? So you don't want. So better you deliberately work upon it, and you enforce that positive. You have that positive disposition of mind, so that you make it more congenial. So it is for our own betterment and for our own good that we are working upon ourselves only. It's not for that second person. That how you say that showing anger is, again, you are taking other person's bad karmas. So showing anger is again similarly this hating a person, again it is only harming you. You will be caught up in that karmic connections again with that person if you don't loosen up your these hateful ties with that person. So only this knowledge helps you to, when you are doing your part very sincerely and very honestly, and when you just find out how the second person had been manipulating you, or he was cheating upon you, or you were deceived, that is very difficult to overcome and overpower. It is very difficult. Like in one example, in like one of the family, a boy was married to a girl. The boy was schizophrenic. The family members of that girl weren't told, and they neither of the girl or his parents knew about this. Till now also they don't know. It has been for 15-16 years. And few days back, that boy stopped the medicine. I don't know why, what happened. He stopped taking medicine, and they, like, his parents did not come to know. Of course, his wife doesn't know. So he started reacting violently, abusing and reacting automatically. When you are not on medicines, your behavior will change. So his behavior changed, and it was such a bad atmosphere in the house that her mother called me, and then I talked to one of the psychiatrists. He said you have to give medicine, otherwise it would be very difficult for him. Situation were getting very bad. So it was that time that I told them that it's better that you tell the girl now, because children are now 12 years. He has two children, one boy and girl, and that it's been I think 14 15 years of marriage, and still that girl doesn't know. So I told them, you, it's better that you tell the girl now, because hiding it would not solve the problem. She has to take the this responsibility of giving the medicine to her husband, so that her life becomes peaceful. Otherwise it would be very difficult for the whole family to face, and especially when the children are growing up. So I don't know what uh, but I was just thinking over the state of mind what of the girl who is not told, and now if she's not told now also, it would be so bad on their part, that I was feeling a little upset taking that girl's state of mind. It's very difficult, in such situations. Yeah.
Jai Gurudev, uh, sorry to deviate little bit from the topic. I just wanted to ask one question, especially Brahmaraji and Savitaji, that you are every day for so many hours in the public domain, so much in and out. So how you really protect yourself at every level? Because as this after the pandemic, how the things opened up, we have started taking the offline programs, in-person programs, and all. I feel that, of course, Gurudev has given us all these things, but I would be very happy if you can share certain tips beyond like just doing the Kriya Pranayam and other things. Because I suffered last month too much. That's why it was a request. Maybe we can chat it personally, or you can share something, because this is when you are on the path, no, you become so sensitive at every level, because sattva is rising also. Purification is happening so fast. So even emotional, this thing, Savita ji, see, so comfortably she every time narrates so many issues of her patients and everybody. But then how, Savitaji, you protect yourself, even Brahmaraji, from emotional, even one thing happens somewhere here and there, it bothers us so much. So if you can, both of you can give us some tips to protect ourselves, especially on this spiritual path. Because suddenly then you you feel like you have come back to the zero level kind.
You
I
know,
think,
it is, yeah, you
yeah.
go on, Dr.
No, I would just say, I think it is wisdom and this knowledge, being in this knowledge. Sometimes it's not like I'm perfect, but I also get affected. But what keeps me going is this wisdom, coming back to it. And it is, I think, grace of the master. Whenever I'm in a situation that requires some kind of knowledge, I seem to get it there, then and there, either through the form of a knowledge sheet, or it would be there in the Manana that we're doing. So I think that is what has kept me going. That's, I think, wisdom is the shield, is a lifeboat.
Yeah, it's true that if you have, when you're walking on this path, you must have a guru, and it is that guru which protects you from all the negativities surrounding you. And it is he who guides you whenever you are stuck in such situations, or you are being prone to that negative effects. It is his grace which is acting. And the more you be evolving, like still this is nothing that we are evolving. It would be to a much higher height that we will be evolving, because they say na, you have walked on this path. If you take one step, he will take 10 steps. So if you are on this path, then it would be very difficult. It at times you become the fertile soil for all the negative energies around you. And it is said that only when you bring yourself to more of a higher strata, then those negative energies do not reach you or approach you. So like you have to elevate more and more, and with the help of the guru, this is the way that you avoid all the negative energies around you in any form, be it in a patient form or in the family atmosphere, whatever negative is happening. The perception level definitely has increased for me. There's been a drastic change. Like the awareness has so much increased that, you know what, the pains which I was going through, I don't know, it may be the negative energies which must have attracted surrounding me, and it is now that from last 2 months, or it is Navratra also, I could go more deep inside myself. Like it was a lesson to be learned, rather. And it is, all these situations which are not conducive, and which are, sorry, very painful. These are the step ladders for you to evolve more. It is these only situations push you so that you strive for more higher and higher in this path. And what is that higher and higher is that the more you clean yourself, the more negative in, uh, intentions or whatever negativity you take out from yourself, all the thoughts with an alert mind, all these help you to evolve. So it is basically that that you go with that dirty this basket again and again, revisit that pond, and again you are coming back. It's the same process happening. It's like I relate that to myself. Every time there's something happening that makes you more clean, then again something happening, it makes you more clean. So it is though being painful, but you are evolving in some way, and very slow and subtle fashion it is happening. That I feel it's the grace of the master, Ishvara grace. It is all. But yes, you should one thing I learned, that before meditation you have to protect yourself, because they say that when you meditate, all the negative energies want to take that, I don't know the word, but they seek some peace. They want peace, because negative energies are all around you. It is there are so many atma which are not relieved of their karmas, or they are still in that atmosphere. So it is you have, whenever you sit in meditation, you protect yourself. I do by just enveloping myself in a white light, of asking the Ishvara to give me that light so that I can meditate and uh, be in that state. It is very important. This I learned lately. Like I had some anubhutis type. No, I did some meditation. I had some smell of a flesh burning, and I it was twice, thrice. Then I became aware. It isn't that my mind is assuming. So someone told me that it is the negative energies which are surrounding you that must have taken your energy, that you have felt such a smell. So it is you have to protect yourself while meditating. It is important because all these people here on this in this class, they are all evolved souls. So their energies would be higher. They are cleaner. They are all of us are uh, more prone to negative energy easily. They are like we are prey to them. So protect yourself and do all your sadhanas and meditation. This I learned uh, in a hard way. And this is actually, being if Guru is there, you are protected from this negative energy. But still, because you cannot, we are in that yuga that cannot approach the Guru. So it is a practice, I think, if we can follow and protect ourselves and do our kriyas. Yes, this is all I wanted to say.
About this negative energies around, uh, Guruji had once said that yes, there are energies, you might feel them, but try to be aloof. I mean, be indifferent to those energies. Just recognize that these are there and then just let it be. Don't give too much of a thought on those. This is what his advice.
Actually, it automatically comes. You don't give your this all your efforts are not towards that side, but it happens automatically. You don't invite them. It is all there in the atmosphere, so you cannot help it. And of course, like being in that our profession is such that people they all come with negativity only. They come with pain. They come with all type of sufferings, and we see all the time pain and sufferings only. So maybe we must have perceived, or maybe we had caught up with must have caught up in that. I don't know. I don't have much knowledge about it, but the protective shield which we can surround ourselves with while meditating, this I learned lately, and I think everyone should do it. It's not nothing big, this thing. It's only that you feel the presence of God, as if his light is there on you and you are sitting in that light. Nothing very complicated. It's only that bhav you have to have, and it is all the cosmos is it is on the bhav only, the bhav is Bhagwan. So what you think, you create, and you be in it. That's it.
Thank you so much, Savita ji, Mrunal ji. Because sometimes even the situation happens in such a way that not able to do the kriya also. इतना लो ये energy चला गया था. So I just needed some tips how to protect yourself.
Yeah, Jai Gurudev. Shall we close the session today? We had an extended session. We'll continue tomorrow. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishnarpanamastu.